Today's quote is entitled Traumatic Religious Events. Western religious history is full of traumatic religious events. When one has post-traumatic stress disorder, anything that reminds someone of the traumatic event causes them to act inordinately and to remove themselves from what caused them to act this way. Western civilization is suffering from PST regarding religion. If you say you have truth, it triggers PST. At a social level, it doesn't allow people to be objective. This is a reality. We know religions have caused so much harm and are still causing harm. And so now in some countries, the word God stresses people. Some people have told me they're recovering from baptism because they were told, it was jammed down their throat, that they're going to hell. Someone told me that they have a church, and one side of the church says those who are saved, the other side of the church says those who are not saved. So you can imagine if you're being programmed to think that if you do this or that, you're going to go to hell forever. And then simultaneously, you're seeing religious people do irreligious things, organizations do irreligious things, up to the point of killing people, and of course the problems we're having with priests and what the sexual activities they're doing and so forth, or the money that they're accumulating, the high lifestyle. It's created a problem for people, and so we have to be sensitive to this. And one thing that I heard recently Prabhupada say was, if we give them prasadam and kirtan, the whole world can be Krishna conscious. And I think that often when Prabhupada said that, he was seeing the condition of the world, and he was seeing this lack of faith, or perhaps the lack of philosophical acumen to really understand objectively spirituality, or think there is anything such as objective spirituality which is divorced from religion. And when seeing this and seeing all the arguments people put forward because they're angry and they're frustrated and they don't want to believe in God and they think atheism is really the answer, then Prabhupada would say kirtan and prasadam. Sometimes when devotees would describe the condition of the world and the direction it's going, Prabhupada would just say Harinam, 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 Eva Kevalam. There's not much we can do other than give them the holy name and prasadam. Of course, we stress book distribution, we stress preaching and so many things. And obviously some people are intelligent enough to take it, to understand it and run with it. There's a lot of people who aren't, who've become so jaded and so hurt and so burnt by what's going on today in the world that they have religious post-traumatic stress disorder. It's just, they don't want to get around it. And so we have to be sensitive to that. And in our preaching, we don't want to come across as sectarian. And Prabhupada never was sectarian. And I know some devotees do come across as sectarian. But if you study Prabhupada very carefully, you see that he was not trying to convert. He just really wanted people to understand spirituality as a science, not as a religious tradition. And what is the science? Your soul, the soul is pure, and there's a way to purify it. So I thought I would just include these ideas so we can be a little sensitive to people. You find this as you go west from India, you find this problem increasing. You get to America, it's a big problem. You talk about God, you have to be very careful. You have to kind of give a disclaimer. It's not the God that you may be thinking, the God that people worship, who then are living paradoxes or who commit abominable actions in the name of God. It's not that God. God's a very loving, generous, kind God. We know that. They don't know that. And so let's be sensitive that we're preaching to a lot of people who are traumatized by religion. And we don't want to continue to traumatize them. We have to be very careful not to be fanatic, but to be logical, scientific, reasonable, and also exemplify the qualities of spiritual people, which is kindness, acceptance, loving, love, integrity, and so forth. Hare Krishna. If you like this video, you can subscribe below. Also, I'd really appreciate it if you share this video with others, if you comment on it, if you like it, do whatever. You have to click to share it, because I think a lot of devotees would appreciate getting these videos. I try to take our philosophy and put it in a practical way so we know how to apply it in daily activity. And this is one of the services I do. And I want to reach as many devotees as possible. If you can help me, I'd appreciate it so much. Thank you.